The Chicago Bulls make another hire for Billy Donovan's staff, adding a 10-year head coach who's been under Eric Spoelstra and Tyronn Lue. We're going to talk about it all and more, but first, we got to play that intro.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And we got news breaking. The Chicago Bulls have hired Dan Craig. Craig. Why can't I pronounce the name? Dan Craig. Jesus Christ, as another lead assistant. So he will be the co-lead assistant with the coach that we hired the other day in Wes Unseld Jr. This is a guy who brings a lot of experience as an assistant head coach. And that is what it seems like AK is doing here, is adding tenured assistant coaches that come from pretty solid coaching trees on top of all of that. How do you feel about it, Steve-O?
Like I've been saying, it's time for a new sound. It's time. This band ain't had the same sound for quite a while. So like you said, you want to shake some things up. We cannot come in doing the same things with the same people. Like I've been saying in the last one when we hired Wes Unseld, the coaching staff is a part of that. So if you're going to sit here and say you're going to change everything, don't think the coaching staff is not something we're going to do. We've had the same coaching staff for a nice little minute now. So therefore, you got to get a complete new overhaul so you could make a whole new standard, so you could make a whole new culture.
Fact. The hats fly there, C-Dub. What's up, C-Dub? Glad to have you in the building, brother. How you feeling about this coaching hire, man?
How y'all doing? What up, y'all? How y'all feeling? This coaching hire, I gotta give first. I'm gonna give kudos and I'm gonna give an applause to the Chicago Bulls and probably Billy Donovan, because I would say after losing the coach, what is it, John Fleming? I think his name is John Fleming.
Well, Chris Fleming, Chris Fleming, and Josh Longstaff.
Chris Fleming, basically going backdoor and joining the Charlotte Hornets, and you lost the other guy, John, whatever his name is, and Mo Cheeks getting demoted in, somewhat, but he still got a job in the front office. He had a tough and a hefty job to do to filling up some of these vacancies that he had. First problem is, who wants to come and work with this organization? That can be a question just to be debatable. And second of all, do they like what they see when they come over here? Do they like the talent over here to come over here? So to get a guy like this with a resume that he brings to the table, coaching under I think the best coach in the NBA in Spoelstra, and the last couple years under Mr. Ty Lue, that's some pretty hefty and pretty good pedigree, dude. So your replacement probably in the building. I'm just playing. Good job, Chicago Bulls.
No, and he basically has the same story as Eric Spoelstra. Not only did he play like Eric Spoelstra started out in the video department for the Miami Heat. Yeah. Dan Craig started out in the video department with the Miami Heat as well, worked himself up all the way to being from scout to being the G League head coach to being an assistant coach on the bench. He's a 3-time NBA champion. He was there for all 3 titles in 2006, 12, and 13 with the Miami Heat. This is a guy who brings in a lot of experience in several different places. And when you add that with the Wes Unseld Jr. pick his choice as a coach as well, you have 2 veteran assistants who, well, he's never been a head coach in the NBA. He was a head coach in the G League. That counts for whatever you take that for. But you have Wes Unseld Jr., who didn't succeed as a head coach, but has been an assistant that was respected, had big parts in the development of players like Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. And now you add another veteran coach who their voices are going to be heard. I know that CW said that shout out to Billy Donovan. To me, this feels like AK signings. This feels like AK is making signings to say, hey, Billy, you brought in your guys. Now we're going to get that, because Wes Unseld Jr. was in Denver with Arturas Karnisovas. Now you go out there and you get another big-time coach. To me, I know this has been my conspiracy theory for a while. I'm going to say it because it really does feel like that. This feels like when Mark Eversley does eventually take a job for another team, they have a natural line of succession. They're still going to interview other coaches, but it does feel like Billy Donovan's going to move to the front office. I know Winton Mahorn is going to hate hearing that. He's going to move over to the front office. And then you have two guys who at least now are going to be familiar with your system, familiar with your players. You may still interview some other candidates, but I that's the way that it looks like it's looking to me, man.
Oh man, I won't poo-poo that. I just disagree on the guy and Billy Donovan uh being in charge of bringing in the personnel and things like that. I don't know if he'll be able to do that. I don't think he had that capacity. He's been a coach his whole career. I don't know if he'll
True.
be able to do that.
Counterpoint though.
Yeah.
In collegiate basketball, your head coach is basically your GM. They recruit players, they pick who's getting scholarships,
Right.
they do all that. And part of the GM's role too is to be head of the scouting department. So I'm not saying that I love it, but with how much Billy Donovan, the ownership, once I said it before, once he was in with the Reinsdorfs, not even AK, once he said he talks to Jerry almost every day. Doug Collins is still on the payroll. John Paxson is still on the payroll for the Chicago Bulls. That's all I can say there, bro.
Joe, that's a laugh.
I'm just glad we're gonna have some new voices in so we can start drafting the same kind of motherfuckers. That's what I'm also looking at with these things. Like, it shakes up your draft board. So now I'm thinking more outside the box when it comes to this draft selection that's coming up, because I don't think for the past, like I said in the last video, for the past 3 years, we've basically drafted the same kind of player, which is projects, defenders, long wingspan, tall. We gonna figure out as it goes type player, but we can't develop them. So not only that, we brought in some two assistant coaches that have proof and shown that they could develop players.
And
not only
they
that,
both have scouting experience.
Scouting is that. So alongside with that, the players that they did develop kind of mimic some of the players that we have currently now, in Io and Kobe. So who knows where we're going to go at with that 11th pick now, because we got two different voices on it now.
And well, I think it's still going to be AK's ultimate decision, but I do think that these two coaches may come in and look at kind of the work they've already done and say, hey, this is just to add another perspective. My key thing is the development aspect. Not only do we add a whole player development department, but Wes Unseld Jr., hugely important in the development of a lot of key pieces on that current Denver Nuggets team. Dan Craig, he was head of player development for the Miami Heat for years. And keep in mind, what's the one thing that we always say with the Miami Heat culture? You know what Heat culture is because they've developed a lot of second round picks that have turned into really good players for them over time. So I'm just saying,
a lot of players that went to school for 4 years.
A
lot of players overseas. A lot of players that came out of, they go looking for these dudes. Dan went looking for these players. Like you said, he won all three. So he one that sought out, like, who the hell was thinking, let's go get Shane Battier?
That's true.
Yeah.
Who was the hell thinking, like, we need Mike Miller on this team?
Mm-hmm.
Like, those the type of things that happen in this game. And, you know, even with this team, like, I always felt like we didn't have good scouts for good role players on this team. Like, there were so many players that should have been on the Bulls' radar, like a Dante DiVincenzo, that we didn't even look at. Stuff like that.
Walker
These players,
Kessler.
Walker
Kessler. You know who would have taken Walker Kessler? The Miami Heat would have taken Walker Kessler if they clearly had a need for center.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tyreke Halliburton, Devin Vassell. Two more you can add on with that. Like, you gotta have. I was sick of the whoever the fucking scouting was doing here. I mean, of course it's AK, but I think he needed another ear. He needed two more different ears that think completely different ways.
But Steve-O, I think they're doing just that. I think they had one template, what type of player they wanted to play on this team. And I think when AK said this at the end of the season, our minds as Chicago Bulls fans, as a reflex, as a Chicago Bulls fan, meant change the players. That's when he said change. But really, he was talking about the top down, and that doesn't necessarily mean the top three core players. But he's talking about, it seems this way, that he's changing the culture in the coaching department. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think they're doing just that. So once you get different voices in Billy's ear, if he's going to be the coach, you know, you get different voices, then you get a different type of player to come in, and you know, you draft different players, you get a different type of style into the team. That's what I think is going on here.
I swear, because if I hear one more fucking argument, if I hear one more fucking team meeting, I'm gonna lose my mind.
Well, I mean, there's going to be team meetings, but
First game.
I think ultimately it comes down to you need to shift the culture. And I know a lot of Bulls fans are going to say, I even saw some in the chat. Oh my God, but they still kept like you need to change the culture. And these are guys that they've hired now in who are going to change the culture, who have come from coaching staff that demand excellence to a degree. So you got to make the steps where you can. Yeah, their attachment to Billy Donovan still as the head coach. It sucks. That's where we are. But that doesn't mean that you can't change stuff around it. And that's what it seems like they're doing. To Steve-O's point, where he said this new sound. That's what we need here.
Yeah.
And the sound seems like it from what he can change now. He can't move Zach LaVine now. He can't move picks. He can't do any of that now. I know Bulls. Well, when are we going to change the roster? We can't right now. The season's still going on. But he is showing that they are making changes. And so let's hope that it continues. I can only judge you by what you've done so far. So
yeah, and what do they got? One more vacancy to fill. I think the Mo Cheeks vacancy, you want to call it.
Well, no, this I would say this is the Mo Cheeks vacancy. So the two coaches that we hired are both lead assistants. You still got John Bryant there, who's going to be on the back end of the bench. That leaves one more spot. And I said it on today's daily episode. Now, considering that you've added 2 veteran coaches, I wouldn't be mad if the Bulls go out and find a young coach, a new mind. That's what I wouldn't be mind if they try to find next. So
yeah, this is gonna be interesting. I like what AK is doing. He's not he said he's gonna change, and he's already let's see what he does with the roster now. Let's see what he does with the roster, because you gotta I'll give him kudos for the start. You know, you maybe most Chicago Bulls fans maybe wanted to change at the top, but I think they like Billy. I don't think they're gonna listen to they ain't gonna listen to the outside voice. So we probably stuck with him. So, but they're gonna change what's around them, just like you guys said earlier, though.
Yeah, because if you just really just look at what the team look like to be honest, like it's like we bought a classic Les Paul. That's a guitar for people who don't know. And we just ain't tuned the motherfucker. The culture is the tuning process. We need to tune this team to be winners. We're not winners. And yeah, they have team meetings, but not the fucking 3 games. That don't happen. That's ridiculous.
Fucking serious.
You need to set a precedent. You can't go in this motherfucker and buy a flying V and don't tune it.
We'll see. We will see, man. Mark Jackson is not. Listen, Mark Jackson is done. He's not coaching in the NBA anytime soon.
I don't think
he said
done.
as much. Mark Jackson's done. At least if he ever gets another NBA coaching job, it's not going to be for another 5 years. The NBA ain't going to let him in.
No, this the route he going to have to go. I think because what I honestly feel like he should do, he should go to college.
Ooh,
he be not think about NBA. If he goes to the college and has success in college,
that's his only way back. That's what I said. That's his only pathway back. But if you really think about it, if it's as a disciplinary, his style of coaching, he's more needed in the college ball more than the NBA, in my opinion.
I want to say
coaching getting soft too. So go ahead.
I would say he gotta. I don't even think he gotta go to that extent to go to college. I think he just need a campaign of I don't want to say sorry campaign, but a real positive campaign. Like
he had his opportunity to do that, and he doubled down. That's why, like, he doubled down and basically said, "Yeah, I said it, and I still stand by it." That was it for him when he said that.
He did.
When he said what
about the transgender thing? That first, like y'all forget the trend. Come on now.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
He had an opportunity. Had he went on an apology tour and said, "Listen, I'm more aware now. I've had to do some educating myself on it. I apologize for my comments and anybody who offended it." He probably would be on a path to get back to the NBA. When you double down,
all I know is
Drip, what if he says that a couple years from now, 2026? What if he says exactly what you just said right now? What if he says that then? I don't think it's.
All I'm gonna say this is one thing I know about sports. They don't give a fuck what you said or did if you winning.
That's what I say. Yeah.
Well, if he start winning somewhere, bro. Think about the motherfuckers.
Maybe he don't start off as a head coach though, Steve. Maybe he'll start off as a head coach. You lay low on the bench, assistant coach, some type of role that way.
let's
You know,
make sure.
He developed like what I think people don't understand is, and a lot of people try to give this credit to Steve Kerr, who I don't even think is as good as coach as most people try to say he is. He didn't develop that motherfucking team. He got the results of a team that grew up, got experience, and then blossomed into the creation that he made.
oh man.
We
Oh
live in a
man,
sensitive world nowadays, bro. That's all I can say. We live in a very sensitive world.
yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but like I said, all it takes is an opportunity for him to start winning, and he gonna be back in his
But
league.
that's the thing, though.
That's just how sports
I don't doubt that, but I don't think he's getting any opportunity. Even in college, especially with how all the eyes on stuff now. I don't even know. Like, don't get me wrong. They're trying to cancel Becky Hammond for her saying NBA players are soft when they are soft. There's a lot of soft motherfuckers in this league. I get what you're saying, and historically, you are absolutely right. I just fear that we are in such a PC era right now in general with sports. I just don't know if I believe that anymore, bro.
I mean, you're right. Like I feel like it's slim pick, like it's a slim chance. But like I said, that's what I'm saying. All it takes is one opportunity.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
whether
and
he
Steve Kerr, a good coach, Steve-O. Don't be doing
I ain't say he was good, but people say he's great. He's not great.
He's great.
I'll say this: there's a better chance of P. Diddy teaching a sensitivity training class than right now of Mark Jackson coming back to the NBA.
I just like to tell you guys, you go through a hard time, and I was at the bottom, man. I was at the bottom, man. And I fucked up, and, you just got to go through trying times, and I'm learning as a man, and I'm just disgusted with myself. But I fucked up.
Hey, bro.
Oh man. Any last thoughts, fellas? I really do like this hire. I like the two hirings that we've made. And I like that AK went out there and got his guys, man. And I really appreciate the two assistants for as much as assistants impact. I like the two assistants that we got in here.
I'm just want to say I like the progress that we getting. He's not waiting. He's getting right on the job. I gotta give him props when props is due. Props to AK. Maybe props to Billy Donovan as well if he was involved.
Big facts.
I ain't giving them damn props. Nothing. I'm just
Steve-O, bro.
Make the move.
Bulls are gonna win the title in 10 years. He's gonna be like, you made me wait 30 years for this title. And I need y'all. I feel like since I had to wait 30 years for the title, you motherfuckers need to win 3 more before I can really say that y'all like that. That's how Steve-O is with this team.
Hey, it's sad this nigga don't be like that. It's sad this nigga don't be like that. That is some shit I would say. No, I'm not even gonna lie.
You can win 1 title. What does that mean? Go get me some more.
Bro, but I am at a point where damn, I didn't experience no fucking win. I experienced 1 win that I really cherished, and that was White Sox in 06.
Yes, sir. Talk to him, Steve-O.
Yes, sir.
And I dare a bitch ass Cubs fan to say that y'all got lucky. I don't give a fuck. If it wasn't for no Guardians fucking up, y'all would still be a bitch ass.
Listen, look, that's crazy. Any last thoughts on the coaching before Steve-O goes down his path of Cubs hating, Bears trauma, Bulls trauma, all that shit, bro.
Shout out to the front office, man. Thank you.
Big time. See, look, just some more food. This motherfucker always eating, bro. There's never been a stream where he ain't got no food, man.
My wifey Puerto Rican, man. She like to keep a smile on my face, bro. You know what
hey, wait. Does she know how to make some
whatever it is? All that. Different type of ways.
Hey.
You know about that.
I need some of that Puerto Rican rice, bro.
The roast gangule.
Absolutely, bro. What is it called when they cook the chicken in the rice, like in the same thing?
Polo du chow.
I need that, bro.
Something like that.
I need that.
Flock. I fuck with the Black Hawks, but I'm just be honest. That was the year I learned the game of hockey, so it didn't really count.
That's fair. All right, y'all. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned in, man. We're going to be bringing this breaking news every single time news breaks. We drop here at Chicago Bulls Central. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button as well. Go and check C-Dub and Bobby out over at the Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. Don't forget to check them out. Steve-O's running the Chi-Town Sports Central general channel. So make sure you guys check that out as well, man. We up out of here. Go Bulls. See Red. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.